Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, it looks like Blake Lively has been exposed, and she's looking like the next Amber Heard, and Ryan Reynolds seems to be no better, which is very disappointing. Basically, they are in this lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, who was the director on her last film, who no one cares about, that only anyone knows about because Ryan Reynolds promoted it while he was promoting Deadpool and Wolverine. Won't even talk about that. But yeah, she was accusing this guy of sexual harassment, but they were blowing it up like it was sexual assault. And what she said he did was, during a montage they were filming, which didn't have any dialogue, he supposedly told her that some body makeup or something she was wearing smelt nice, which is really not sexual harassment, ridiculous. But apparently what happened was she apologized for it, thinking that it smelt, and he said no, it was fine, and that was it. And they spun that into sexual harassment and made it out like it was sexual assault. And well, obviously this was all on camera, and they were recording audio even though there was no dialogue, and they've leaked it and they've shown her to be a big fat liar. So yeah, sucks to be her. And she deserves it. If she's lying, I mean, if you've been sexually harassed or assaulted or threatened or abused or something, you don't need to exaggerate or lie or stretch things or reframe things. You can just speak your truth and people will see what's been done. So clearly, in my opinion, allegedly, supposedly, this is a woman who is a entitled, spoiled, narcissistic Hollywood star who thinks the world revolves around her, that she should control everything, and she tried to take over the editing of the film and just trying to take over the marketing of the film, and is just being a horror. And sadly, instead of reining her in and checking her, like Posh and her husband, I recently saw the video where she was lying about growing up in middle class or lower class or whatever, when she was actually being driven around in a Rolls Royce. What's the name of the soccer player? Everyone knows him in England. I forgot his name. That's what Ryan Reynolds should be doing for her, checking her and saying, no, honey, no. But no, instead he's going along and attacking this guy and using all the might of his star power, after he just had $1 billion film, to destroy this man's career and destroy this guy's film. And it's just really hideous to see these people taking advantage of their power and their position and lying about this person. And all this guy appears to have done is try to keep his film together and try and, keep working despite having a star that was running out of control and trying to destroy everything and trying to make everything look like, he was doing something when he wasn't. So it's just really sad that, people with power exploit it and abuse it. And it's just sad and disappointing. I mean, I was never a big fan of Ryan Reynolds. I hated him when he was in Two Guys in a Pizza Place, which, Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Shop or whatever. That was when he first sort of became a star. I hated him in that. And I thought, I bet that's what he's like in person. And I hated the way he treated the other character. And I thought, I bet he's just playing himself. And then, I mean, he was in the Amityville Horror, and that, the lots of sued over that film because they misrepresented his character, and Ryan went along with that and did a lot of interviews which I felt weren't particularly accurate in some of the things he said. So I didn't really like him much then, even though he had the abs and looked hot and everything. Not that shallow, actually past that stuff. But once he got to Deadpool, I felt like he had, even though the comic established, the character was, he managed to find, managed to perfectly depict that character, and I did love him for that. And that's it. So I can see this hurting his career. I can see this hurting the next Deadpool film. And it's just sad because it doesn't need to happen. There's no reason why this actress couldn't have behaved like a human being and worked with this artist and this creator and created a beautiful film instead of the ugly thing that it is now. It was supposed to be helping the victims of domestic violence by doing a film exposing it, and instead she's playing the victim when she's not a victim, and it just is really insulting to actual victims of sexual assault or domestic abuse or false accusations or anything. so it's just really sad, and I just wanted to talk about that for a minute and not use the C word, which I was using to describe both of them, and then explaining that I'm Australian and we use that word in different ways than Americans. But then I'm like, the algorithm doesn't care about explanations, so I did it again. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this new information and how it makes the rest of the whole thing, the case, look.